The museum is here to introduce people to the animals that are native to this part of the world. Talking to many people, I found out that a lot of people don't realize how many wild animals live around here that show up in people's backyards. Most of the times when I ask children, are there rattlesnakes around here? They all shake their heads, no, not realizing that we do have a small population of this endangered species here in the Blue Hills. And it's literally minutes away from downtown Boston where these snakes live. If people don't know that you're there, that can lead to problems. So that's, the reason why we're here. We want people to see the animals that are here at the museum, learn about them, hopefully lose fear of them if they are a little bit afraid. And when they go home, they start looking a little bit more carefully, and they start noticing the animals that live where they live, and then helping to protect those animals. All the animals that are here are animals that can't live in the wild. They have some kind of handicap. Sometimes it's a very visible handicap. There's many birds here who can't fly. For instance, we have one turtle that if you're paying attention and looking carefully, you'll notice he's missing a leg. Other animals that we have here, they have invisible handicaps. You can't see, for instance, the fact that the bald eagle is blind in one eye. You also can't see sometimes, what's going on inside of their heads. Some of the animals that are here because they're orphans. They've been raised by people. They don't know how to live in the wild. They haven't had an opportunity to be taught by a wild, parent. And because of the way they grew up, they have no fear of humans anymore. They would walk right up to a person if they were released into the wild. And they would have no clue how to live in the wild the way they're supposed to. We work with wildlife rehabilitators when they have an animal that they know can't be released. They contact us. If it's an animal that gets along with people, that doesn't mind being in a place where people are going to be looking at it and moving around it, and we have space, we can potentially give that animal a home. Some of the other work we do with rehabilitators is re-nesting. Baby birds fall out of the nest. A lot. They're sort of supposed to do that. It's kind of like what happens when you're learning how to walk, you fall down a lot. And sometimes they need help. If they're in a busy place, one of the things that people can do is you can touch a baby bird. Don't touch a mammal. Don't pick up baby bunnies, but you can pick up a baby bird and move it someplace where it's going to be safer. Sometimes that needs to be done with birds of prey, and that's where we come in. Orphan owl or hawk, if we can find the right place, we'll move it to a nest of the same species of bird, and the nest has to have babies in it that are about the same size as the orphan baby. And the parenting instinct that birds of prey have is so strong. They'll just take care of the orphan like it's their own, take it from there. We just kind of have to provide the lift for the baby to get into the nest. I think ignorance, not knowing, is probably the biggest threat animals have. People don't realize that there are a lot of animals that live in dead trees. There's a lot of animals that live in urban areas in dead trees, including some owls. And when they go to cut the trees down out of their yard, and they do it in early spring when the animals are nesting in there, pretty frequently they find out the hard way that there's a whole bunch of baby owls in the tree. We get at least one nest of them like that every year here. That we have to go out and try to find foster homes for them. Some of our funding we earn through admissions and through the fees that we charge for doing our programs, but a good portion of our funding comes from the Commonwealth. That funding has to go through the state legislature. It also has to be, enacted by the governor's office. So we need the support from the state legislature and the governor's office, and they're not going to give us the support unless people contact them and let them know how important this place is, what we do here, and the kinds of experiences that parents can have with children when they come here. So the more people that know, the better we can get support from the Commonwealth.